Pete Alonso is officially a New York Met after signing this recent deal. So, what's next for the Mets this offseason? Are they done, or does David Stearns have one more move up his sleeve? Let's get into it. All right, Mets fans, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the True Mets Talk podcast. It's your boy, CP. Hopefully, everyone woke up on this fine Thursday morning feeling fresh and rejuvenated because the polar bear, Pete Alonso, is officially back in Queens. Do the Mets have any more moves up their sleeve? We're talking about this Pete Alonso deal and what could be next. Before we get fully into it, smash those thumbs up buttons, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Okay, it's a 2-year contract for Pete Alonso. The New York Mets got it done. Steve Cohen and David Stearns went all the way down to Florida to meet with Alonso and Scott Boras themselves to get this deal done. 2 years, $54 million with an opt out after the first year. $30 million is going to be what he's making AAV wise in the first year. And if he opts back into the deal, let's say he does not have a good 2025 campaign and he doesn't follow up the down year that he posted in 2024, with bounce back numbers, he'll most certainly opt back in and he'll be making $24 million in that scenario for the 2026 season in a Mets uniform. But the current payroll for the New York Mets per Fangraphs, the luxury tax payroll is now at $324 million, just about $325 million. This begs the question. We've been talking about $301 million, and that being the point where the Mets are going to be paying the highest tax and the highest surcharge amount. Well, they blew right past that with this Pete Alonso signing, which we knew was going to happen. If they were serious, about bringing Pete Alonso on board, we knew that $301 million was never feasible, no matter if they tried to get a contract like Starling Marte off the books or not. Now, they still probably are trying to work out a situation where they can make one more lateral move, whether it's a trade or whether it's a signing. So I'm not going to rule out any additional moves, but this is your current outlook as of February 6th, 2025, with Pete Alonso in the doors, right? And I don't know, man. Someone check in on Blue Jays fans. Are you guys okay? If there's any Blue Jays fans, ladies and gentlemen, that are paying attention to this video and stumble upon it, please let me know, because I know that they were holding out hope for Pete Alonso. They still have a chance at Alex Bregman. They're negotiating or trying to negotiate this contract extension with Vlad, but it really did seem like across all my social media accounts, Blue Jays fans were really adamant that they wanted Pete Alonso. So, not trying to be funny at all. I'm genuinely curious on what the mindset is today of Toronto Blue Jays fans. But when we talk about Pete Alonso, this has been a question that I've been getting a lot actually on the live streams and the videos that I post, is that, if Pete Alonso came back to the Mets, right? Now he's officially a Met, but when they were still negotiating, a lot of Mets fans were concerned if they got this deal done, was there going to be any bad blood between Pete Alonso and the Mets? Is there going to be any sort of clubhouse or, dugout issues, remnants of such a bad negotiation? And, I was very hesitant to buy into that because at the end of the day, when you hire Scott Boras and when you have a star player like the Mets do and did, hiring Scott Boras, everybody knows the ramifications surrounding that. Everybody should prepare themselves going into the offseason as soon as the season was done and the Mets were eliminated by the Dodgers. Everybody knew what was going to commence, not only on the Juan Soto front with Scott Boras, but also with Pete Alonso trying to maximize his career earnings and his bag. So, Will Salmon basically reaffirmed this, that business is just business. People within the Mets organization aren't at all buying into the idea of any potential dissatisfaction over how things went between the team and Pete Alonso. That's not going to spill over for Pete Alonso or for anybody else in this clubhouse. The Mets are banking on him being highly motivated and that outweighing anything else, as he should be. He's still playing for a long-term contract. I've been telling you all time and time again, if this short-term deal with an opt-out goes through, he is playing with a chip on his shoulder. This is another prove-it-year deal for him. Make no mistake about it. He has the protection for that second year, but this is another prove it year for him. How is he going to bounce back? We talk about the clutch numbers or lack thereof with runners in scoring position, in tie ball games, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. We need that productive Pete Alonso back, especially adding Juan Soto in the middle of this lineup. Year 2 of Mark Vientos, Brandon Nimmo probably going to be, right around Pete Alonso at the top of the order as well. This is a perfect 1 through 5. It's top 3 in the NL, and it isn't number 3. They're probably only behind the Los Angeles Dodgers, in my humble opinion. It's time to lock in, Pete Alonso, and you will be rewarded next offseason with a deal that you wanted in this offseason. You just got to show us the numbers. So, what can be next for the New York Mets? That's what everybody's speculating. Well, per Pat Ragazzo, the Mets have officially offered Jose Iglesias, Mr. OMG himself, a 1-year deal to come back to the New York Mets, which, you know, you can only imagine Jose Iglesias, with the type of 2024 performance that he had, said no as of right now. He is still seeking a multi-year deal, according to Pat Ragazzo. This is the official report. If you want to go and see this report, go to Pat Ragazzo's account over on X. Mets made a 1-year offer to Jose Iglesias recently, but Candelita is said to be seeking a multi-year deal, sources told Mets on Sports Illustrated. So I'm not sure what type of structure. He's not getting 3 to 4 years. Clearly, he's 34 going on 35 years old. Yes, he just posted a career season and was probably one of the reasons, if not the reason, for the Mets bouncing back in that almost lost season with the way things were going in mid-May. But I think if he wants a multi-year deal, if he's not going to take the 1-year deal that the Mets offered, he's probably looking at an option year for the second year, right? Whether it's a club option or whether it's a player option. Now, obviously, the age is a factor here. I'm not sure if a player option is more conducive to what he's wanting, and I'm not sure it's really feasible given the age to give him a player option. I think a club option is more appropriate, but locking him into 2 years without any options, I would have a hard time imagining the Mets do that, to be honest. I know he was the glue guy. I know that, OMG and that whole shtick was the basis, the majority of the basis surrounding the 2024 New York Mets magic, but at a certain point, you have to make business decisions. And at this point, the Mets infield is already crowded as it is. If they went into 2025 with the way things are at right now in the infield, I would be perfectly okay. I think the bigger question is what's going to happen with this rotation? Do the Mets and David Stearns have one more move, presumably a trade up their sleeves for another rotation arm? Or are they going to ride into this season with what they got? Kodai Senga, Sean Manaea, David Peterson, Clay Holmes, Frankie Montas, and a toss-up between Griffin Canning, Tyler McGill, or Paul Blackburn. Is that going to be the rotation? Dylan Cease, he's still out there. Padres are fielding offers for Dylan Cease. Let me make this clear to you all, ladies and gentlemen. And we will talk about it on tonight's Mets Hot Stove, 5:30 p.m. I'll link that in the description down below when I set that stream up. But we're going to be talking about this topic. The Mets, make no mistake about it, the Mets have all the assets at their disposal to trade for a frontline starter. Will they give up the prospects for a rental? Is that what David Stearns is going to do and what he's going to prioritize? That's a different question. But when it comes down to it, actually having the assets to make a move, the Mets do possess everything necessary to make it happen. So let me know what you think, Mets fans. One more move for the Mets this offseason, or are they done? Continue to smash those thumbs up buttons. I will see you all, and we will see you all, both Rob and myself, on the live stream later tonight. Polar Pete is back in the Mets uniform. It is fantastic to be talking about a lineup with both Juan Soto and Pete Alonso. I'm excited. Baseball's around the corner. Let's go Mets. Until tonight's live stream. Peace.